This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. All is well. Let's take a look at a stock here that has been very generous over the last couple of months. And the stock is FVRR, as you can see here. The stock had a breakout when it moved above the lower 30s. Let's call it about 31 or change. Somewhere in that range, there was a breakout level. Actually, we can even take this breakout level here at about 31, 32. That was the ideal entry. If you caught that breakout, then you had a chance to ride this monster move, because in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, it's gone from lower 30s to the current highs of 125. So a very generous move, and our initial interest in this one was a perfect timing because it was right here. And I'll show you one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why I thought it was worth our consideration here in April, and it is based on the weekly. Now this is a monthly chart, all data monthly. The reason why there was no way, or let me put it this way, the reason why I used the weekly chart is because quite clearly we don't have a fully developed RSI. So because the RSI is not fully developed on the monthly, then we have to go to the next mature time frame, which is the weekly. So let's take a look at the weekly and see why I thought the stock looked good in April. And so go to the weekly, and remember guys, you can do this on your own. You don't need anybody to do this for you. But on the weekly, show you where we start showing an interest. It is this breakout here, and the stock moves higher, and so that's where our timing was important, since we know what we are looking for. Now that breakout, if you take a look at the parameters, met the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. By now you know that method. If you don't, some description of the method is going to be in the description of this video. Alright, so definitely without without any doubt, the stock met the minimum requirements for an ultimate Muathe breakout. The only adjustment here is we did not use the monthly, we used the next time frame, which is the weekly, and because of that our timing was perfect. Now remember, a quality stock is going to have multiple entries on its way to stardom. So as mentioned, we timed this breakout perfectly right here, and you can see that breakout which took place in April, and you can see it right here. So the ideal entry point was at 33.71, which was that weekly closing high. Now, as I said, you can do this on your own if you know the minimum requirements. They're very simple, but also there are other entry levels. There's another breakout level here after the minimum required rest period, which is this entry here. If you took that breakout on a weekly basis, that was another good entry, and that was in the middle of June, and we also happened to time that breakout perfectly. So that's another entry. Entry number 1, number 2. And then there's entry number 3, which is towards the end of July, just a couple weeks ago, or a week or so ago. And there was the most recent breakout, which has also been successful, can be seen during this weekly breakout here. So 2 weeks ago, that breakout took place. That was the third breakout. We happened to time that perfectly too. That was at about 85, with the current high currently just under 125. So we happen to have just captured the ideal entry points on the weekly perfectly. Sometimes just that's how it goes. Now remember, if you understand the minimum requirements, if you understand the minimum requirements for the breakout, the minimum requirements for rest period, all of this would have been available for you to grab some of this amazing generous move. And if you don't have the time or do not understand how to time these things and the minimum requirements, maybe you could consider letting somebody else do it for you. It doesn't have to be me, but somebody else who is more experienced in finding similar moving instruments. This is Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Love and light, light and love. Namaste.